Hello everyone, we're going to try to put a Ford 8.8 out of a Mustang into this G-body today. You'll have to forgive me, I'm stepping a little bit out of my comfort zone and putting this all on video, and we're going to edit it and do all that kind of stuff. I know it's hard for people to come out of their comfort zone and do things and work on their own cars, but I guess for somebody that's watching this video, you're sort of out of your comfort zone too to switch this out. So let's get started. Okay, we got the 8.8 out from behind the tarp, and we're going to pull the axles out, which is a C-clip axle. As you can see, the C-clip's in there. Well, we learned that if you have an older Mustang, well, a newer Mustang than a Fox body, this housing's the same, but the axles are longer because of this reluctor wheel right here for a speed sensor. If your rear end's been sitting around for a while, this reluctor wheel, if it isn't pressed in properly, you cannot get the C-clips out. And both of our axles, the reluctor wheel had to be moved around, and we're going to change axles anyway, so it really don't matter. But we struggled with this for quite a while. Now we got one C-clip out, now the second one's going to be a piece of cake, but just wanted to let you know, if you can't get your C-clips out, that is why. Just to tell you, if you have stock Mustang axles, which I sort of knew this before we did this, but they are 28 spline axles. Fox body is also 28 spline axles, but you never know. Somebody might have swapped in an Explorer or a Ranger center section into your housing, and you never know what they are for sure, so it's always a good idea before you order axles to call or to tear it apart and count them just to be absolutely sure. and the boys just got done pulling this 7.5 10 bolt out, and it came out pretty easily. Got a pretty clean Monte, so all the bolts came loose and it went really quick. We got to still pull all the trailing arms because all the trailing arms are brand new for the swap kit that I got, and we'll go from there. Alright, day 2 of the 8.8 install. I've got one of the boys out here with me already. Kale seems to be the slowest breakfast eater I've ever seen. And we got the old 10 bolt is gone, and we are getting ready to tear out these trailing arms and put an all new trick chassis kit in it for the conversion. Here's our kit from Trick Chassis that we got in. Really nice quality stuff. As you can see, all heim jointed, nicely TIG welded. Here's our brackets. These kits, depending on options, go from 200 and some odd bucks. Well, all this was about 600. I got the adjustable lower lengths and the spring pockets because I didn't want to hack up my old 10 bolt, and I've always been happy with Trick Chassis products. I've got them on my Malibu and other cars, and they've always been top notch and fast shipping and very good customer service. I call them on the phone and talk to them, and they hook me right up with whatever I need. Back to the axles. I called Trick Chassis yesterday and ordered a new set of axles. I ordered for a Fox body drum brake setup so we can avoid the extra length for the reluctor wheel here. 28 spline, and you can get them in any bolt pattern you want. They're Mosier axles. So I'll be getting them sometime this week. We'll get those in, but I do have a couple Mustang rims a buddy of mine brought over, and we can get it down on all 4 today, hopefully, on these axles. We were cutting brackets off that we didn't need off this 8.8 and got a little too aggressive with the plasma cutter and cut right through the tube. I'm going to weld this up. It should be fine, but everybody makes mistakes. You just got to learn to deal with them and keep going. Well, we got her all welded up. Nobody will ever know except 3 people that saw this video. Okay, we're getting ready to weld these Alright, we're getting ready to weld the conversion kit in. The boys have done an excellent job of cleaning this back cross member up, getting the undercoating and the rust and everything out of the way, so we can weld this all up for our upper control arms, so our instant center is going to be acceptable in the car, and the car will launch okay and run decent. If we ever decide to put it on the track, which I doubt, this is just going to be a driver, but alright, we're going to shove some bolts through here, tighten them up, and weld them up. We just got done, Luke and I, and Kale's working over there on the bench, but Luke and I just got this all welded up, and we're going to paint it black and take a little break and go to lunch, and then come back out and hopefully get this rear end hanging in here this evening. Pro tip: if you suck at welding, always paint your welds. It makes it look so much nicer. Okay, so we tried to get our upper control arm in, and somehow, I don't know why, but we couldn't get the control arm in with the supplied bushings. So I had to spread that apart a little bit. I had a piece of all thread, and 2 nuts, and we got it spread apart, and we're about ready to put the control arm in, hopefully, and keep going here. Okay, here's Monty down on all fours. We just checked the wheelbase. It's 108 inches both sides, so it's square that way. We got to make sure the rear end is square in the car though, and set the pinion angle, but we can't do that until the car is completed, and we'll do that on the 4-post lift. I'm happy with the way everything turned out so far. Hopefully this was worth it. I put a 9-inch quick performance rear end in my other car, and it was done in half the time, but yet we're saving a lot of money by going this route with the 8.8 on this car. It's about $1,200-$1,300 difference less to go this route, and you could probably do it cheaper if you got some spare parts and time laying around. I'm going to order disc brakes for my bolt pattern so I don't have to change wheels, instead of staying with the 4.5 on 5 bolt pattern. So I'm waiting on my axles, so I ordered Mosier axles, and then I'm probably going to order a disc brake kit from Quick Performance. That's going to be another close to $400. So thanks for watching. We'll get back on here when it's done and I'm setting the pinion angle and put out another video. Thank you. Okay guys, I got some updates. I got my Mosier axles in today, and the center of those is 2.51 inches, and you will need that to order your disc brake kit from Quick Performance. That's 2.51 inches. Also, I wanted to tell you the lower control arms, a good ballpark to start off with. The lengthwise is 18.5 inches center to center, and that pretty much nailed the wheel opening right off the get-go. I mean, it looks pretty close to me. We'll be doing some more measuring though and see what happens, but just a quick update. Thanks.